Peace, Islam. Welcome to Nwar Astrology. Here are your weekend astrological energies for November the 26th and 27th of 2022. The sun is in Sagittarius while the moon is making its way through Capricorn. This is a great energy today, and it's coming through to alleviate some of the tension and pressure that we might have been feeling for the last few days. The moon is at 13 degrees of Capricorn at the time that I took the snapshot of the sky for this weekend's energy. It's making some nice angles. It has a nice trine to Uranus in Taurus. So the moon deals with our emotions, and Capricorn likes rules. Capricorn likes to consolidate. Capricorn is about getting things done. Capricorn is the goat, right? The goat that is full of tenacity, full of determination. Think of a mountain goat that's making its way up the mountain, almost supernatural ability to maintain balance against the slopes that they're trying to transcend. The energy of Capricorn is practical, prudent, it's disciplined, it's patient, it's calculated risks. It is kind of a dry humor. Capricorn's energy is also very reserved. Capricorn rules the 11th house, so this deals with social aspects, recognition out in the world, social status, our public life, authority figures, our ambitions, work, that sort of thing, our profession, our career. So the moon, dealing with our physical and emotional needs and wants, is making its way through Capricorn. And it's making a nice trine to Uranus and Taurus. This can feel like the energy of emotional exuberance, which is a nice energy to be passing through, especially after some of the tension of the past few days. The Capricorn moon energy is calm, cool, and collected. And with this trine and this jolt of electricity from Uranus and Taurus, we're definitely really starting to understand our own value and where we sit in these social realms. And Uranus and Taurus is currently moving through the third house, which is ruled by Gemini, which deals with our communication and our mind. So we can definitely be gaining some confidence right now about the way we're communicating our value to the social group that we might find ourselves in. The sun is making its way through Sagittarius along with Mercury and Venus. Now, Mercury deals with our mental energy, and the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all being in Sagittarius, this is definitely a great time for expansion of career opportunities. Perhaps we might be going through an opportunity for career advancement. Maybe it's promotion, maybe it's moving into a new position as well. Maybe it's really rediscovering and illuminating the value that we have in our workplace. There's a nice stellium between the midheaven at the end of Sagittarius, Mercury and Venus in the middle of Sagittarius, and the Sun at the beginning of Sagittarius. So this is great work energy at this time. This could even be the energy of setting out on entrepreneurship, maybe starting a new career on your own. Now, Mars is in Gemini and it's opposing Mercury and Venus in Sagittarius. So this is the energy of almost having too many pots burning on the stove at once. While it's good that you're having this energy and this fire going, there might be a little too much going on to focus. So while we're feeling this career energy and we're feeling this great energy from the moon, trining Uranus as well, we want to make sure that we're not putting the cart before the horse, so to speak. Sagittarius is the centaur, and it deals with the connection or the fusion of the divine with the mundane, with man mixed with the animal. It's about unbridled journeys and searches for higher knowledge. But we also don't want, with this opposition against Mars right now, we don't want to put the cart before the horse. We don't want to pick up too many bags, too much baggage, and not be able to make sure that we're making the best maneuvers as we're moving forward. So while you may be tempted to go off on some sort of a tangent on your journey at this time, this is also a good time to look back at some of the tried and true lessons and sources of inspiration that you've had, and kind of, you know where you're going, but keep going forward on the journey. It might feel a little frustrating. You might want to be doing more this time, but definitely use this moon and Capricorn energy and make calculated decisions at this time. Mars is making a square to Neptune in Pisces, while the moon is making a nice sextile to Neptune in Pisces. So the energy of this Mars square to Neptune can almost have the feeling of running on a treadmill. You know, the feeling of when you're in a dream and you're running to get away, but you're not moving anywhere at the same time. It's interesting with the same combination of the moon sextiling Neptune, because this can open up a space for divine inspiration. This can open up a space for divine knowledge. Now, with the Mars opposed to Mercury and Venus in Sagittarius, Mars being in Gemini itself, and having that urge to, go off on tangents or have many pots burning, many fires cooking, many experiments going on at once to see what might be the best path forward. It's good to try and keep a balance between the divine and the mundane, between the Sagittarian energies of the man and the horse. So while there is this energy that's opening up divine inspiration, the moon sextile Neptune, with Mars square Neptune, we want to make sure that we're engaging in activities that are going to pull in the balance of both of those energies. So perhaps, definitely anything that's physical, but also has a spiritual or meditative aspect to it as well. Obviously, moving, walking, meditation is a great idea. Yoga is great. Some Tai Chi, something where you're moving the flow of the energy. Perhaps you're even reading a book, and then read the book for 20 minutes and then go work out, walk around for another 20 minutes and let yourself integrate and pull that knowledge down from the spiritual realm and integrate it physically in your body. If you're feeling stuck and unable to make some progress, the reason that that's happening, the reason that you're going over and over that same energy, is because this is a stop and look at the finer details, a stop and smell the roses moment, and you will experience something new within that moment, within not trying to set forth on a new path before you unlock the doors on the path that you're currently walking on. Here are the Sabian symbols for the planetary energies at this time. The sun, dealing with our life's purpose, our vitality, and our self-expression, is at Sagittarius 5 degrees. An old owl perched high up in a tree. This symbol implies being able to quietly observe what's going on around you. Owls can turn their heads right around, and very little escapes their attention. They're not easily detected in the trees, as they usually only come out at night. They wait, watch, and listen before making their move. The wise owl sees all, seeing what others miss, and keeps very quiet whilst digesting all that's going on. There may be a need to consult with aged wisdom, either within yourself or from without. Emulating this behavior can bring feelings of solitude, but but this may be what's needed. This can indicate insomnia caused by thinking or wrongdoing or doing too much at bedtime. In the positive, this deals with wisdom and strength, evening contemplation, night owls, peripheral visions, nocturnal visions, the spirit of the birds, silent flight, acute hearing, lofty ideals, education, educated mindset. It also would add spiritual vision as well. In the negative, this deals with a smug denial of available wisdom. Not saying anything even when it's needed. Acting like no one knows it all, or acting like one knows it all. Acting old before one's time, and waiting for prey. Next up, we have Venus dealing with our values, our worth, our self-worth, how we adorn ourselves, resources, and that sort of thing. Money, too. Venus is at Sagittarius, 13 degrees. A widow's past is brought to light. This symbol implies revealing issues, secrets, or problems from the past, so they can be dealt with. There are issues which will be brought to light. Perhaps your past catches up with you, or people in your family or circle of friends have stories, histories, deeds, acts, or personalities that need to be handled with care and tact. There is often a healing as things that have been kept closeted lose some of their charge when they come into the light of day, although you or others may be in a reasonably sympathetic position in the eyes of others. Some may not like what is revealed. I'll say that again. Although you or others may be in a reasonably sympathetic position in the eyes of others, some may not like what is revealed. Bringing issues to light where they can be healed. So this is with in positive, bringing issues to light where they can be healed, forgiven, and hopefully forgotten. Unveiling and exposing new vibrant beginnings, yesterday's darkness, looking back to revisions, attitudes, being free for new opportunities, counselors, grief, and negative failed relationships, old stories being forgotten, rehashed stories, someone being caught out or called out, gossip and family secrets that shame, bearing the weight of secrets or of shame and loss. That's Venus dealing with our emotional value and how we adorn ourselves in Sagittarius' social house. We have Mercury dealing with the mind, our thought, and our communication at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. A groundhog looking for its shadow on Groundhog's Day. This symbol shows a sign and prediction to give you insight into the future. The solution to your questions are often close by and easy to perceive, and based in your normal life and in your relationships. By looking at past experiences, you may find the signs. However, there is a need to look closely at what is happening, and you can find yourself on a kind of merry-go-round, waking up each day to the same dilemma, question, or problem. Don't try to read too much into situations, but do take a good look at how you come across in your relation to other people. Do you keep repeating the same mistakes? Perhaps you help others get over their past, freeing them up for having a better, brighter future. In the positive, looking back and reading the signs, divination, predictions, prognosticating, prophets that read the weather, that's an astrologer, waking up to live life and love, waking up to life and waking up to love, psychoanalysis, analyzing your shadow self. And the negative, being scared to act without some message or confirmation. Looking for someone to blame, relying on the same solution without consideration, blizzards, and the cold. So next we have the moon at 13 degrees of Capricorn. The moon is dealing with our physical and emotional needs. A fire worshiper meditates on the ultimate realities of existence. This degree shows being able to focus thoughts, meditate, or to find your center. The fire worshiper can be intensely interested or passionate about something, throwing themselves into the middle of something, getting as much out of the experience, event, or study as they can. You are likely to find yourself very focused, with a great passion or something that really ignites your interest. There could be a sense of danger in some respects, but also a sense of new beginnings. Harnessing your personal resources particularly your richer inner life, can create magic. Look through appearances to get to the heart of matters. And positive deals with self-conquest, kundalini, reaching for higher states of being, incense, questions of existence, meditation, fire, the meaning of life, Zoroastrianism, hypnotic spells, and philosophy. In the negative, overestimating personal power, going too deeply, playing with danger, obsession to the point of self-obliteration, being exhausted with life, and not seeing the forest for the trees. And next, I'm going to go to Uranus in Taurus, which is a larger energy that we've been dealing with and we're going to be dealing with for another year and a half, I believe. I actually have to double check that. This is a more collective outward energy that we're dealing with. Taurus at 16 degrees of Uranus at 16 degrees of Taurus. An old person is attempting with a degree of success unsuspected by them to reveal the mysteries to a motley group. This symbol implies that one holds an understanding that is either ahead of the times or behind the times. Regardless of which it is, you may feel that no one is paying attention to your advice or wisdom, but it is not your wisdom that is at fault. It may be your approach coupled with the lack of awareness of the listeners. Perhaps those you are trying to reach are not ready yet for the information, or they are instinctively already know it. However, often people are soaking up things without really showing how much they are getting it. Sometimes you teach better by example than by trying to persuade. In the positive, trying a new approach, challenging the status quo, astrodrama, uniting diverse people in a common cause, subliminal messages and teachings, revealing the mysteries. In the negative, exaggerated opinion of knowledge, the mistaken belief that others wish to know, not being in touch with the times, ramming one's belief, and the lack of feedback. Next up, we have Mars dealing with our will, our drive, our passion, at Gemini 20 degrees. A cafeteria with an abundance of choices. This symbol shows the wide range of nourishment, opportunity, and the ability to have things in our modern world. There are so many choices, but each has its price, so be careful what you choose. Each will nourish you, but some things are far more nourishing and sustaining than others. However, there is so much on display and available that if you don't like your first choice, you can get something else. That is, if you can afford it. Take what you need, enjoy it, and realize the abundance that's happening in your life. Make sure that what you get is good quality, as many things may not be. You can deal with overwhelming alternatives, having one's hungers satisfied versus satiation, everything being provided, self-service, salivating over what's on display, being overweight, and credit cards. And more negative, it can be taking everything you can regardless of needs, the inability to make decisions, so many choices, things so near but so far, the inability to satisfy, being stuffed with stuff. And Neptune which deals with illusions, it deals with the media, it deals with our vision, it can deal with divine visions as well, is at 23 Pisces. A materializing medium giving a seance. This shows the ability or the need to pick up the subtle energies and psychic clues in the environment. The materializing medium can receive radiations, frequencies, or vibrations that cannot easily be sensed by most people. You may be experiencing a surprising sensitivity and awareness to spiritual forces and energies. This can cause confusion, other times enlightenment. Sit with any new impressions until you understand their authenticity or depth. Sometimes there is a need to free stuck or earthbound entities. This can show someone who can materialize things and make things happen just by thinking about or concentrating on them. And positive to deal with spiritual channeling, seeing things ahead of time, giving voice to spirit, messages from the other side, tarot readings, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and manifesting. The negative, this deals with false fronts or performances, making things up, using mind control to get a desired outcome, weird energies or weird people, quacks, imposters, fakes, and delusional people. So those are all of the Sabian energies, Sabian symbols for the energies right now. Definitely really interesting energy right now. We are learning a lot about ourselves. We are learning a lot about our value in the group. We are definitely finding a voice to our ambitions and making calculated risks to progress and transcend. If you feel like you have a work idea that you might have been stuck on, or maybe there's a dream or a goal, or maybe it is some sort of divine knowledge or inspiration, and there's some new information that you're taking, that you're getting into. Because another thing about this energy, this is the energy of like going down a rabbit hole almost, right? There's a lot of information coming in, and it can lead you too far down the rabbit hole, perhaps. Perhaps you can, take too many different turns and get pulled off of the direction you were originally headed on your journey, or stuck in a loop trying to learn or get over something. Take the time actually to just sit with it. Take the time to sit with it and try not to force other issues or force other side quests to go off and learn other things before you have really synthesized the knowledge that you are gaining. And a thing that definitely might help at this time is definitely integrating the spiritual, the mental energy with the physical energy and grounding yourself. If we're too focused on rushing forward, we might be missing something at this time. So thinking of the energies of the groundhog seeing its shadow, the illumination from the light of the sun, from a grander source, from a time, a source as old as time, something that's illuminates everything, that's tried and true, something that rises and sets like clockwork. That illumination is going to help us see what's coming forth. We also have the energy of the widow's past being brought to light. So this is dealing with old issues, secrets, and things from the past, and being able to heal them through actually revealing them. There's also the energy of the owl perched up on a tree, right? The owl's sitting, watching, looking. The energy of the fire worshiper meditating and looking through the fire and seeing new realities and ultimate realities of existence. This is the energy of being illuminated with what is true, with our inspiration, with the fire of the sun, with the fire from our heart, maybe even the fire from some memories of the past. Let that illuminate where we're going at this time, and try not to get caught up in that cafeteria, the abundance of choices. Try not to get caught up in having too many experiments cooking and too many pots burning at the same time, because then it might be too many sources of illumination, too much fire for one to see clearly. One source, a tried and true source, is what we need to be focused on at this current energy, this current moment. And these new experimental sources might be detrimental at this given time. All right. Hope everybody has a great weekend. This is great energy. Let's make the best of it. All right. Peace.